Not going to dive into them quite yet, but we will today. Okay. All right, before we get going here, we need to talk about a couple things. One, today we're going to be talking about parallel and perpendicular lines and how they relate together when they are graphed. So I'm going to put on this thing so I can talk better, so that they can hear me. Let me walk around for a second. So, that was dusty. Today we're going to be talking about parallel and perpendicular lines and how they relate together when they are graphed. Okay? So, the thing you have to know about parallel, well, first off, hold your arms up in parallel lines. Hold your arms up in parallel lines. Good. Parallel lines are lines that never cross, right? They're lines that stay equidistant, which means equidistant apart. Who can hold up their lines what perpendicular is? Perpendicular cross at a 90-degree angle, right? They're lines that cross at a 90-degree angle. Okay. So to start off this lesson 4.4, we need to talk about parallel and perpendicular slopes and how they relate together. So, if I have a slope of 6, okay? So here we go. I'm going to create a table. You're going to create it with me. You guys ready? In your journal. Title it Parallel and Perpendicular. Okay, the thing about lines, so let me ask you guys a question. If I have a slope of a line and it's 6, what do you think the slope of a line parallel to it is? It has to be 6.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was anything else other than 6, at some point they would cross. So parallel slopes are always the same. Okay? Parallel slopes are always the same. I usually make people sing it. Parallel slopes are always the same. Parallel slopes are always the same, right? And so parallel slopes are always the same. Perpendicular slopes, if the slope is 6, we're going to take the reciprocal and change the sign. So the reciprocal would be 1/6 and then change it to the negative. Okay, if I had m equals 2/3, my parallel slope would be the exact same. My perpendicular slope would be flipped and sign changed. All right, if I had -7, my parallel slope would be -7. My perpendicular slope would be positive 1/7. Questions for me so far? Okay, do this one on your own. -5/4 is the slope they give to me. Tell me what parallel and perpendicular would be. Okay, what would be the parallel slope? Okay, what's the perpendicular slope? Perfect. Okay, any questions on the difference between parallel and perpendicular slopes right off the bat? JR, questions? Okay, if I have an equation like this, y equals -1/2 x plus 6. What would be the slope of a line parallel to that one? Someone raise your hand and tell me. Jackson. Why would it be -1/2? Because it's the same. So if this line right here is -1/2, the slope of a line parallel to it would be 1/2. What about the slope of a line perpendicular to it? A +2. Okay? if I have, should I do a weird one? Y equals 6x, I already did, negative 6x plus 3. What's the slope of a line parallel to that one?
6.
What about perpendicular?
1/6.
Perfect. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, let's go on. Everyone ready? Hopefully everyone's starting to get it and understand the difference between parallel and perpendicular. Perpendicular, you're just going to grab the slope, flip it, change the sign. Alright, what about if they give me something like this though? 4x plus 6y equals 6. And let's say they said, I want to know the slope of a line parallel and slope of a line, same exact thing, except for now it gives it to us in standard form. Slope of a line parallel and perpendicular. Sorry. So they give us this, 4x plus 6y equals 6, and they say, I want to know the slope of a line perpendicular and the slope of a line parallel. What do I have to do?
4x, you get y by itself.
I have to get y by itself. Why do I need to get y by itself, Britton?
So you can find the slope.
You can see the slope, right? If you have to get it into slope-intercept form in order to see the slope. Right now, we can't see the slope. Right now, this tells us our x and y intercepts. That's all this tells us. So in order to do this, we have to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 4x, and we have 6y equals negative 4x plus 6. And then we're going to divide by 6. So y is going to equal negative 2/3 x plus 1. This is something we've done, right? We did this in chapter 3. All right, so the slope of this line is negative 2/3. JR, what's the slope of a line parallel to it? Oh my God. If this slope's negative 2/3, nice. What about perpendicular, JR?
Negative 3 over 2.
No, you son of a gun. That's why you're the man of the hour right there. Drilled it. Okay? Go.
When you subtract, does it always have to go in front of the...
Yep. So this is a good question. If I bring the 4x over, I don't want to put the 4x after the 6. Why?
Because slope and intercept form is just the slope first and it's easier.
Yep. Slope always, so it's y equals mx. Slope comes first.
So it's just easier to read. Like it doesn't change anything mathematically.
If you had it after, it'd just be weird looking. Okay, let's do another one on this page and I'll get a new piece of paper. So, here, I'm going to have you guys try this one on your own, everyone. I want the slope of a line parallel to it and the slope of a line perpendicular to it. Just before you open up your homework, it asks, the first question's a weird one. Volleyball girls, can you tell me how the RPI had us 10th, but the bracket had us 9th?
Because the team dropped out right above us.
Really?
No, we're playing. Oh, yeah, no. It was,
Oh, Roland Hall.
yeah.
Someone told me that actually this morning. I knew that. La Corona. El Corona. Okay. First thing we're going to do is get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 6x to both sides. Did everyone do that part? Good. If you didn't do that part, we got issues. That was the easy part. Then we're going to divide by 7. The 7 goes to both, so we're going to have y equals negative 6 sevenths x minus 2 sevenths. Hey, before I give you this, do I care what that is? That's irrelevant. We're not even looking at the y-intercept. We're just looking at the slope. So, parallel, what is it?
Negative 6 sevenths.
Perpendicular? Who got it right? All right, onward. Okay, the last thing they're going to ask us to do is they're going to give you 3 lines. And I don't need this down inside your journal, really. You guys can just look up here with me. They're going to give you 3 different lines. So I'm going to write it. I have your homework open. This is the problem. I just opened up your homework. I'm going to write it the way they do it, and I'm going to do my best because I just think you're going to get to your homework and be like, what the flip? So it says line 1. I haven't submitted this, so don't. Line 1 is y equals 3/4 x minus 4. Line 2, 3y equals 4x plus 5. And line 3 is 8x plus 6y equals negative 2. So the question it says is the equations of 3 lines are given below. For each pair of lines, determine whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So in order to do that, what do we first have to do with these two? What do
You have to change it to slope.
Yeah, we got to get them to slope-intercept form. So anytime you're asked to look at slopes, you got to get something in slope-intercept. So we have y equals 4/3 x plus 5/3. And then on this one, we're going to have 6y equals negative 8x minus 2, or y equals negative 4/3 x minus 1/3. So what I would do is I would first get them converted to slope-intercept form. And then what I'd do is I would write my slopes off to the side. So line 1, my slope is 3/4. Line 2, my slope is positive 4/3. And line 3, my slope is negative 4/3. Okay. So we're going to go through this. Now they're either parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Line 1 and 2, what are they? No, why is it not perpendicular?
Because it's not negative.
Yeah, and one of them has to be negative to be perpendicular.
Would that be neither?
This one, line 1 and 2 would be neither. What about 1 and 3?
Or perpendicular?
1 and 3 would be perpendicular. What about 2 and 3?
Neither.
It's a neither. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to have you guys try this one on your own, and then I'll get your homework to you. I want you to convert all 3 lines to slope-intercept form, and then I want all slopes written off to the side, and then we'll go through them together. So let's say line 1 is negative 4y equals 3x plus 4. Line 2 is 6x minus 8y equals 2. And line 3 is y equals negative 4/3 x plus 5. I would get all slopes written off to the side, or if you can see them, that's fine too. I could tell you that line number 3 slope. Nice, Mr. Glazer. Wow, Mr. Glazer. Sheesh. Done? Cheater. You cheated. I haven't done it yet either. So you didn't cheat on me. It'd have been funny if you would have. Get to where you know all the slopes. Wow. Okay, so your three slopes should have been negative 3/4 right on line 1, 3/4 on line 2, negative 4/3. Okay, line 1 and 2. Neither parallel perpendicular. It's neither. Line 1 and 3. Neither. Right? What about 2 and 3? That's it. Your homework's there. 4/4. 10 questions. Don't tell me about it. I don't need to know about it until you do it. Until I grade them. Don't tell me. It ruins the surprise. Yeah, you can. For a price of $1 billion. Oh, you guys. 10 questions. 14 minutes. Didn't I do a quiz yesterday? Didn't we do that weird quiz yesterday? Oh, son of a... My bad. My bad. I'm going to put it in there. You guys are just good eggs, you know that? Anybody ever told you, Lane, you're a good egg? That ever come out of someone's mouth? Lane, you're a good kid. Huh? People ever call you a good kid? That's what my 5-year-old asked me yesterday. Am I a good kid? No, you're not a good kid. Come on, man. Come on, Navy. Dad, am I a good kid? Absolutely not.
Is there only one line? Like only one of those line things?
2 of them at the very end.
2?
Weird thing to say.
That was Jeff Jackson.
His name is not that. I'm trying to start a trend and no one... I hate everyone.
JR.
Easy, JR.
What's the trend?
JR. And then we just shorten it to Joe.
Joe who?
Actually, nope. First we see... Where's Joe today?
I don't know. He came here and then he I saw him earlier today.
Wasn't he inside of this class earlier? A lot of you guys didn't do too hot on the quiz. Number 5 got everyone almost. Hey, who's that? Yours? Look up here, whose is that? Well, no one knows. Well. Who? It's not Carly's. Wait, it's Spencer's. I think it's Spencer's.
Spencer put his name on
Oh,
there.
he did?
Spencer like sectioned all of this.
William, was that yours? Alright. Remember your name, Muffin Man.
So, Muffin Man?
Hey Jay, how you been? Go for it.
I was on a roll. Outtakes, maybe. Hey.
I'm the best. I am the ever living best.
Okay. So is that your scope? You're right. So 1 and 2. Remember to get perpendicular with it and change the sign. So 1 and 2, they're not because that's not good. And they're not the same. So it has to be flipped. So it has to be flipped and a different sign.
Oh, there it is.
So for example, this is your answer is right here. But
Jay, did you kill a
the
deer?
other two are not. And parallel is just the exact same.
Well,
So 2 and 3, lift that and take the sign and it gives you the 3.
Dom Carlisle, get on it, dude.
Oh, that is so the first 2 are my.
Veronica, get on the get on the thing.
Okay.
Man, we've done it. You know that? Life, love, liberty. The 3 big L's. Carter, how you been? Better than you. Oh, Carter, I'm just joshing you, man. I'm never better than you. Never have been, never will be. Life's good in the neighborhood, though.
That was really good there. Life's good.
Yep.
I lied, there's 3 of them.
That's my bad. Is there really 3?
Yeah, 8, 9, and 10.
There we go.
Actually, you've got
Can't do them, huh? You gotta find the slopes, Addison.
2 and 3.
If the slopes are different with sign changed, perpendicular. But they have to be reciprocals. They're the exact same. Isn't it awkward when you're typing something and your computer does an update?
Yeah.
In the middle of me typing something, my computer just
I have a map. That doesn't just wait.
it did I pushed to remind me in an hour ago,
Yeah.
and it popped up again, and I went to go click it to remind me again and actually click start.
Oh. Sorry, what? My computer, like, I open it, and it's like, okay, we tried to update last night, but it completely failed. Yeah.
So now I'm waiting, but thank goodness I don't have another class right next, or I'd be screwed.
All my programs.
I gotta go home and deal with my children at lunch.
No.
I'm gonna fist fight one of them.
It doesn't tell us which one we got right and wrong.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it?
I can't just cheat it.
I know.
What?
I noticed that too when I was assigning like this is gonna be awesome.
Oh, it doesn't tell you.
It just tells you your answer is partially correct. It doesn't tell you like A is wrong.
Ooh, I gotta. You guys, let's stop me again. Oh.
It's fine.